Good morning. Happy Sunday, my brothers and sisters here in Unity of the River. It's my pleasure to sing a song that's kind of appropriate for the season. You've heard it before. It's Grateful. Grateful, can't you see that I'm grateful? Well, I'm grateful, can't you see that I'm grateful? I'm grateful, can't you see that I'm grateful? I'm grateful, can't you see that I'm grateful, yeah. I got a grateful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a grateful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a grateful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a grateful feeling and I thank the Lord. Well, I'm hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Can't you see I'm hopeful now? Hopeful, yeah. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Can't you see I'm hopeful now? Hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Can't you see I'm hopeful now? I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. In that early morning light, dawn nips at the heels of the preceding night. When I open my eyes, I see it's a world of beauty, such a world of beauty. It's an endless world of beauty. Everywhere I see, you know I'm hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Can't you see I'm hopeful now? Hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Can't you see I'm hopeful now? Hopeful, yeah. Can't you see I'm hopeful now? Hopeful, yeah. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Can't you see I'm hopeful now? I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. I got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. As that evening star does rise, a twilight comes to bid the day good night. And when I close my eyes, I dream that it's a world of beauty, an endless world of beauty, such a world of beauty that's surrounding me. And I'm grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful? Can't you see I'm grateful now? I'm grateful, yeah. Can't you see that I'm grateful? Can't you see I'm grateful? 'Cause I'm grateful, yeah. Can't you see that I'm grateful?
Can't you see I'm grateful now?
I'm so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful?
Can't you see I'm grateful now?
Got a grateful feeling and a thankful Lord. Got a grateful feeling and a thankful Lord. Got a grateful feeling and a thankful Lord. Got a grateful feeling and a thankful Lord.
Look who we got, Brian Dozer. Woo!
Yeah, you're stuck with me again. We'll do a handoff here. There? There you go. I feel like a comedy routine even when I don't say anything. You're just like anticipating I might. I'm gonna be serious here. We're on a quest to find Brian some new songs, so if anyone here knows of anything very inspiring that you think would fit in my vocal range, let me know. Because I'm busy with the kids a lot and I'm not trawling YouTube for new songs, so. But here we go, let's all join together on this one.
Open up the sky, Brian.
Filled with everything but you. Lord, I really want to see your glory. Let the fire of heaven fall on me. Can you feel our passion? Can you see our hunger? Don't you know I long for you? No walls between us. Take away this darkness. Come break these hearts of stone. Hear our cry. Open up the sky. Open up the sky. Open up the sky. Open up the sky. Everywhere I go there is a feeling that soon we're going to see your kingdom come. Tell me, can you hear the sound of desperation? Oh, it's a prayer on the lips of every nation. Can you feel our passion? Can you see our hunger? Don't you know I long for you? No walls between us. Take away this darkness. Come break these hearts of stone. Hear our cry. Open up the sky. Open up the sky. Open up the sky. Open up the sky. Lord, we really want to see your glory. So let the fire of heaven fall on me. Can you feel our passion? time that we all stand and take someone's hand as we pray and sing Surely the Presence. Let us pray. Surely the presence of the Lord is here because you are here. You, the embodiment of life, love. You, the embodiment of spirit and compassion. You, the embodiment of God's love. In God we live, move, and have our being, and God lives, moves, and has its being in each and every one of us. We make God real. We make God visible. We make God felt. So today, come together with you in celebration of that truth, that we are so much more than these bodies. We are so much more than these thoughts. We are the divine. We are the divine. We are the divine. And so it is. So we let it be. Amen and amen. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity on the River. I am Reverend Ogun, senior minister here. And as Brian sang in that song, there was a line about wanting to see God and God's glory. And as I like to say, if we really want to see the glory of God, we simply need to see the face of another and look to them, because it is God in them, the divine in them, the Christ in them that allows God to be made real. So turn to someone and say, God looks good today. God looks good today. Indeed. Is that Jackie Woodside? Hi, Jackie. And Chipley. Like the whole gang's here. It's awesome. You might notice somewhere near you is a teddy bear. If you see a teddy bear somewhere near you, give it a little bit of love and energy, pass it on. Every year, we collect teddy bears, and our children take them to the Amesbury nursing home. So, as you can see, there are not enough teddy bears for everyone to be holding one right now. That means you guys need to bring in some more teddy bears. So please, next week, please remember, bring a teddy bear so we can love upon it, infuse it with some good energy, and make some folks' day, with some caroling and some gifts. This is what we do. Also, God looks really good today. In this one over here, I see we kind of got the blue-ish memo going on a little bit. So, as always, today's Sparkly Mickey facilitating. Thank you, Mickey.
Good morning. Am I on? There I am. Welcome, everybody. I think everybody should take a turn at facilitating so that you can take a look at you in the morning on Sundays, all those beautiful faces. So I say, good morning, God. As you know, my name is Mickey Lucier. I will be running the show today, as I like to call it. And we have a really big show. For any of you that might remember that. I don't. I just happen to hear about it. Okay, so first of all, let's welcome anybody here that's new for the first time. please raise your hand. The ushers, keep your hands up. Thank you so much for coming. Keep your hands up. We've got one here. We've got about 5 people, 6 back there. Keep those hands up. We're going to make sure everybody gets a flower. That flower that you're getting is a 10% discount in the bookstore. If you haven't checked out our bookstore, it's really cool stuff, especially now with the holidays coming. Another one coming. She's coming. You coming, Lynn, for this? Okay. And there's a packet that you're receiving, and that kind of explains who we are. No, we're not a cult. We're just a really loving community. So please check it out. Excuse me. You can also check out in the Spiritual Resource Center if there'll be someone there you can ask questions about us and all that good stuff. And if you all get together and put all your flowers together, one person will get 50% off. Okay, sorry. I was shut down. I'll give you $10 for that flower. That's not worth it either, is it? No, not really. It's really not. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's welcome our streamers. Hi, streamers. What's going on? Happy Sunday. From all over the world. Sometimes we get streamers from different parts of the world, so it's pretty cool. We stream our service live every Sunday, unityontheriver.org if you can't make it. You got friends that are far away, but you say they got to check this out. unityontheriver.org is our page. Just check it out. It'll say live stream. And we also have services that have been archived, so you can check out old services. Sometimes I'm sitting in my office and I'm getting really stressed out, and I'm like, I need me some Ogun. I need me to run an Ogun. I call it running an Ogun. And I take 20 minutes, I listen to Ogun, and I'm cool. So, but it's a great thing to have. So believe it or not, Unity on the River is a center of celebration, transformation. You wouldn't know it from me. Inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Well, joy, yeah. Please hold these fruits in your heart as we say our mission and our vision statement together. Mission statement together: we are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. In our vision statement, centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. So I have a few announcements. First announcement, this Wednesday we have a potluck and our open mic night, the night before Thanksgiving. Keith Bickford will be running the open mic. So we have presentations happening this afternoon. Previews, basically it's not a tryout. So we'll be previewing Keith would like to meet with you to preview what you'll be doing, just so he has an idea. And with the potluck, we need 2 more turkeys, fully cooked. That's key. So we need 2 more turkeys, fully cooked. It's like I say, it's a potluck. I think there's a sign-up sheet for it, and everything's over in the Spiritual Resource Center. Next Sunday, Garland Landreth will be our guest speaker at 10 a.m. And then after service on the day, he will be doing a manifesting and healing workshop titled Living Your Dreams by Unlocking Your Subconscious. I don't know if I'd want to do that. I don't know what's in my subconscious right now. Maybe I should. Okay, you guys want to be around for that? You sure? I mean, I already subject my wife to it, so, you know. All right, I will. It will be on this next Sunday, 1:30 to 4:30. And then there's also going to be Monday, 6:30 to 9:30. Is it a 2-session? Yes. Okay, either or both. So you don't have to go to both. Okay, but you can, and you'll get more out of it. Okay, great. Sign up in the Spiritual Resource Center. So basically everything goes to the Spiritual Resource Center. Or online. We can always do things online. And then, oh my goodness, December 1st, our annual Christmas concert. The Christmas concert is Cookies, Carols, and Cup of Joe, 7 p.m. It's a Friday night. Concert will feature Cup of Joe, Meg Rain, Brian Dozer, Unity Music Team, and Maura Lynch will be directing. As you all know, it's a fabulous time. And all the funds raised this year will go to a new sound equipment, which we definitely need. So hopefully everyone can come to that. And then on, let's see, Giving Tuesday. We don't have a date for that, right? Thank you. Tuesday after Thanksgiving, November 28th. Save this day. This is really important. Later today, there'll be a list on our website and in the Spiritual Resource Center and in the newsletter. And it's basically items to consider to donate to the church that we need. And there's also a list of places that we donate to that you can also donate to. So that's going to be Tuesday, and it's a big, just Giving Tuesday. You'll hear about it, I think, with all kinds of organizations. It's a big day for just giving where you'd like to give. So please check out our website, unityontheriver.org, and the newsletter. And also, while you're shopping, I do a lot of shopping on Amazon. Right, honey? I always have boxes coming in. But during Christmas, I do even more. And there's a way that you can give back to the church while you're shopping, which is pretty cool. And it's an Amazon link. Is it on our website? It's Amazon link /online shopping. So what you do is you go in, you put that, you go in through our link, and then you do your shopping, and then a percentage of that sale comes to the church. How cool is that? I think it's the coolest thing. So think about that too, and if you need more information on that, we can certainly take care of that. And now it's time for that time in our service where we greet each other with love. A handshake or a hug, depending on what you're comfortable with. Let's take a moment and see the divine in each other. Namaste. And now I'd like to, first of all, thank you, Alex, for stepping in for Maura.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Alex is in charge. Thank you. Big shoes to fill. Always thank you to the band and the choir, of course. But I'd like to invite you all to listen now for Alex has a song for us, In My Life.
It's my pleasure to share with you In My Life by the Beatles. There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some are gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and things I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these places, affection. These people and things that came before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I loved you more. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these places, they lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. I know I'll never lose affection. These people and things that came before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I loved you more. I know I'll never lose affection. These people and things that came before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I loved you more.
I think whenever it rains from now on, I want you to come do that song because, like, the water, the background, and just solo piano. I was like, nice. That was really good.
I was ready for a massage.
So earlier before service, he apologized to me last week for something funny he did. And I said, no, do you, man, do you. Dial it back now. Just find the happy middle. Find the happy middle. Find the happy middle. I kid. I have an announcement to make. This is both a public service safety announcement for you guys and a proud father moment. My 17-year-old daughter is now a licensed driver. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She got her driver's license on Friday. She was mostly grateful for the fact that she could sleep in an extra hour and drive herself to church this morning and not have to wake up early with me. But as anything we holders do, it was not without some drama. She has given me permission to tell you this story. But please, when you see her later, play it cool, people. I know you guys love to love upon her and tell her stuff and say, you know, your dad said this and blah. Just play it cool, okay? You know, say congrats, she heard you got your license in school. She knows I'm telling you guys a story. She knows I'm telling you to play it cool. But don't ignore her either. Don't, What's that? Find the middle ground. Or as Han Solo said to Chewbacca in Star Wars, fly casual. Just nothing weird. Just keep it cool. So she completed her driver training sometime in October. And we had to, get online, find a date. And we were told it might be a wait. It's going to be back up. So she entered her stuff. And the first date that popped up was January 2nd. And I said, that's not going to work. The last few weeks, or months, I should say, she's been having to go a lot of extra places. We homeschool, and she's part of a homeschool co-op that meets a couple times a week down in Danvers, so I have to drive her to that and come back. That schedule changes every semester, so my schedule changes every semester. And then I told her, if you're going to be driving the car, you need to help pay for things like gas and insurance, so you need to get a job. My daughter ignored all the jobs within walking distance of our house and chose a job that I had to drive her to. So now there's that 3 days a week as well. So I've been doing a lot of extra schlepping. So I have been looking forward to the day where my schedule can return to some semblance of calmness and normalcy because she can drive herself places. So purely selfishly, I was like, that's not going to work. I said, we need to get an earlier date. And she said, well, how are we going to do that? I said, your instructor said sometimes people cancel. I said, so you've grown up in Unity all your life. We have tools. We have law of attraction. We got manifestation tools. We know about the power of intention. Let's put these tools to work. To which my daughter said, oh, you want me to use the Unity mumbo jumbo? A name by any other name, right? So I said, sure, if you want to call it that, let's do that. So we did that for a couple days, and sure enough, date popped up. Not on Friday, but on Thursday. We also, I forgot the cardinal rule of using one's intention and manifestation energy, pay attention to details. We did not pay attention to details. So that Thursday date that popped open was in Greenfield, Massachusetts. For those of you who may not know, that is a 2-hour drive from here. Okay? No worries. 2 hours. It is a pretty drive, but 2 hours, no worries. We lived in the DC area twice. Every time you got to go somewhere, it's at least a 45-minute drive. So not a big deal. So we hop in the car. We go over, she's ready to go, and she goes to take the test on Thursday in Greenfield, and she does not pass. Remember, you're playing it cool. Okay, she does not pass. Do you remember, and her disappointment of not passing was multifold. First, the not passing. Two, because there were certain areas of weakness in her driving, like we all have some areas of weakness. Those were not the reasons she failed. And three, we'd driven all the way to Greenfield. So that's basically 4 hours, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, 4 hours in the car. So she's like, we wasted all our time doing this. Some of you may have seen a post on Facebook I shared the week before about here she was at a significant milestone in her life, getting her driver's license, and her mom was not here to witness it. For those of you who may be new here, my wife Jennifer passed away 2.5 years ago from cancer. And ever since then, Joy and I have been on this multifaceted, unpredictable journey of grief. And those of you who've experienced the loss of someone really close to, you know what that looks like. We don't know what that looks like. That's the thing we know. We think we know what it's going to look like, but we just really don't. So there I was at the gym the week before this, working out, beginning to anticipate this new level of freedom she and I will achieve when she gets her license. And all of a sudden, I'm on the bench dropping dumbbells because I am weeping hysterically at the gym. Okay. I think people thought I was crying because I didn't finish a set. I don't know what. they're probably like, that dude takes this way too seriously. But there I was, nonetheless. It was very cathartic. So, by all appearances, Joy had not, no, she thought about these things, but maybe not expressed them until that moment she failed. And it all came out. The tears, the I wish mom was here, it was just this like cathartic release. And we're driving home and she's crying and then I'm crying. I'm trying not to cry because I'm driving a car. Thing. So we just had this let down. It's kind of beautiful, actually. You know, it made me realize again, as far as she and I think we've gone, as much as we think we've healed, we're nowhere near the end. And where's the end? We don't know. There really is no end to this journey. This is the story of the journey of many things in our life, our spiritual growth. We think there's going to be an end. When I can do X, then I've achieved like spiritual enlightenment, mastery, whatever. The only moment of spiritual mastery you will achieve is when you realize there is no spiritual mastery to achieve. It's just deeper. You can always go deeper. You can always expand more. You can always raise consciousness more. There is no limit to God, so there's no limit to our spiritual development. So as we were driving home, part of her dismay was, now I gotta wait till the next opening, which I knew was January 2nd. And I said, I'm sorry, are we just gonna ignore the unity mumbo jumbo? Come on, it worked before, let's do it again. So on the ride home, we set intentions. Because originally I had said to her, what do you believe you can accomplish in terms of getting a date? And she goes, well, I got to make a trip to go see some friends over Thanksgiving, so when I come back. And I said, nah, that's not quick enough for me either. How about the week? Can we set the intention? Do you possibly believe that this could happen for you the week before Thanksgiving? She goes, yeah, I can believe that. And her belief took a hit on Thursday when we were driving back and she didn't have that license in hand. I said, well, let's get back into that place. So we go back into that place. She gets online later that night, and sure enough, there's a date the following day, Friday, and praise God, it's in Lawrence, not Greenfield again. Not that I wouldn't have driven the 2 hours again. I would have gladly done that. I said to her, sweetie, I will drive to the ends of the earth for you. This is like not an issue, okay? So we go to Lawrence. Now, the interesting thing about Lawrence, the Lawrence RMV is, yes, it's in Haverhill. This is not about Haverhill. Malik lives in Liverpool, so he knows there's many ways I can go with this conversation right now. But it's not about Haverhill. We were warned that there's a particular tester of the Haverhill who is notorious for failing students. So Joy was all anxious about that. And then when we were waiting, it turns out one of the testers was a woman, and Joy was like, ooh, we're gonna get her. Let's do her. Unity Mama Jumbo, let's get her. Apparently, Unity Mama Jumbo does not work all the time because we did not get her as our tester. We got this other guy who, by all accounts, as he was, getting us set up and started, was not a very affable guy. Okay, just like very matter of fact. Yeah. So anyways, so we go on this test. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious because it felt like we were doing a driving lesson. Because as we're doing the test, Joy's like, so one of her driving weaknesses, which she inherited from her father, is she's got a heavy right foot. And when I say heavy right foot, like if you've seen the Thor movies, how only Thor can pick the hammer up and it's heavy for everybody else? Yeah, like that, like pedal to the metal. And I said to her, listen, you gotta drive slow. I know I don't set a good example for you, okay? I know I claim that, I embrace that, okay. But, I've also been driving longer than you've been alive, so I have a little experience to back that up. But for now, at least the day of your test, just stay under the speed limit, no matter what it is. If you don't know what a speed limit is, just drive 25, okay? It'll be cool. And when in doubt, stop the car, because Joy thinks cars can fit everywhere. When in doubt, stop the car. And Joy says, I know to stop the car. The problem is I don't have doubts. And I said, well, that's a really good life mantra to live by, no doubts. Have it while you're driving, please. So anyways, so we go out, and this guy's like, all right, come on, give it more gas. You know, da-da-da. When we were doing the parallel parking thing, he's telling her, okay, yeah, turn the wheel. Okay, you got this. Like, he's telling her what she should do. And I'm like, well, this is pretty awesome. Kind of do. And like after like 10 minutes, he's like, all right, let's go, turn here. And we coming back into the parking lot another way. And I'm thinking, well, it's only been 10 minutes. Like, this can't be going well. And he backed up and said, all right, you got your license. And when you drive in general, here's what you should look out for. And he gives her this long list of things. But she got the license. She was ecstatic. She was so happy. And she was like, yeah. And then I was like, well, do you want to drive home? She goes, no. I was like, what do you mean? I'm so confused right now. This is what we were working towards. Why don't you want to drive home? And she says, the first time I want to drive with a license, I want it to be in my mom's car. And I was like, this kid gets me every time. But she did drive home because apparently the permit, even though it was stamped like you passed the test, it wasn't going to be valid for another 3 hours. She goes, he says, this permit will become a valid license at 5 p.m. So for the next 3 hours, you're still under permit. So she's like, oh, it's 3 hours. I can drive because it's not really my license. I'm like, I don't understand how your brain works. Like I said, the way we holders do things, just, it's always something going on. It's never clear-cut and simple. But she and I had some conversations throughout these whole 2 days about what was happening, how we were feeling, the outcome of things. And Thursday was the rough day, not just because of the emotional catharsis, but because she felt that there was nothing good about that day that happened. That there was nothing that she could say, I was grateful for. And I said to her, well, let's replay that, because then you've missed some important things about this day. I said, I can guarantee you that even if you don't get your license tomorrow, it won't be for the reason you didn't get it today. So you've learned something valuable about yourself. You've learned to, again, find that middle ground between being fearful and anxious and being overconfident. You've learned, again, vividly how to be fully present in the moment of what's in front of you. You've learned about how much emotional attachment you have to the outcome of things that you didn't realize that you had. And that was a lesson for me too as well. I said on Thursday afternoon as we drove home, there's so much on this day to be grateful for. And when we can get ourselves back into that place of realizing that in every moment, whether it's a happy moment, a sad moment, a sunny moment, a rainy moment, a painful moment, a comforted moment, when we can stay in a place of gratitude, we stay open. We stay open. Melody Beattie, y'all familiar with her? She's an author, very big in the addiction and self-help recovery community. If there's anything that could happen to a person in life, it probably happened to her. She writes this: gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. If there's any spiritual practice that I think we can all do better, it's to stay in gratitude no matter what. In gratitude for the healing, in gratitude for the illness, in gratitude for the abundance, in gratitude for the lack, in gratitude for the love, in gratitude for the rejection, in gratitude for just being in gratitude. It's easy when it's going our way. How can we make it easy when it's not? I'm not saying don't feel your feelings. I'm not saying don't have an emotional response. I'm not saying don't honor what's happening in you. But we can do multiple things at the same time. We can be sad and grateful. We can be anxious and grateful. We can be fearful and grateful. Because when we stay in the place of gratitude in the midst of those emotions, they transform that much quicker. That much quicker. In the Psalm 50, verse 23, we read, "The ones who offer thanksgiving as sacrifice glorifies me." This is someone basically channeling God. "To them who order their way rightly, I will show the salvation of God." Let me read that again. "The one who offers thanksgiving as their sacrifice glorifies me. To them who order their way rightly, I will show the salvation of God." As you know, here in Unity, we take a metaphysical interpretation approach to the Bible. So when we read that, and we break down with certain terms, sacrifice is letting go of the old beliefs that stand between us and the fullness of the realization of who we are. We got to let those go. They may have served us well in our human journey up to a certain point. Let them go. What do we mean by glorify? To enhance with spiritual splendor. That was my favorite phrase that I read when I was doing this talk. Enhance with spiritual splendor. I don't even know what that really means, but it sounds so good. Enhance with spiritual splendor. Okay? So when we talk about spirituality, what we're really talking about is opening up and solidifying our connection with God. So to enhance everything with that, yeah, that's the work. That's the journey. When we talk about salvation, what are we talking about? Knowing that when we fully embody the divine, it frees us from all of our limitations. And most of those limitations are where? Up here. Things that we have invented and made up and thought to believe. Salvation is to be free of those. And part of being free of those is to realize the divine that we are. So all this verse is really saying is that when we give up these thoughts and beliefs through thanksgiving, then we connect ourselves deeper with the divine of who we are. So we tend to focus a lot on gratitude now because it's the week of Thanksgiving. And there's a lot to be grateful for. But let us have that focus throughout the whole year. Every time and any time. When the sun is streaming brightly and when there's a torrential downpour and the water's pouring in the building. Thank you, Barry. Yeah, let's give thanks for it all. We need both the sunlight and the rain for life. We need both the good in our life and, yes, what we label as not good in our life as well. But here's the truth. It is all good. It may not look that way in the moment. It may not feel that way. But it is. It is. It is. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. So I want you to hold that phrase with you from today on. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. Say it with me. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. Again, gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. One more time. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. Be in gratitude. Let's take this in a meditation. So I invite you, if you're comfortable, to plant both feet on the floor. If you can, empty your laps of papers and purses and just let your hands rest easy on your lap. Sitting upright but feeling supported by the chair. Let the shoulders fall. Let the face relax. Let the eyes close. Let the lungs breathe. And just simply breathe as you normally would. No faster, no slower. But allow your attention to follow that breath. Be aware of the drops on the ceiling, the rain, the notes of the piano, the sound of my voice. But let your attention be on your breath. Let it pull you into the present moment. Let the breath pull you deeper, deeper into your heart space. Turn your attention inward to that place beyond thought. Go deeper still to that place beyond belief. Go to that place that is so filled with love that we're often afraid to let it show. When we live in gratitude, that's the place that we live from. That's the place we stand grounded in. That is the place that allows us to embrace all that lies before us. It is the place that brings us to the fullness of who we are as divine beings. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. I invite you to take that in for a few moments in the silence. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of my life. As you hold that intention in your hearts now and every day after this, let us also hold that intention for all the names in our prayer box. Giving thanks for these names, these souls, these loved ones in our life. Trusting and holding that they too will remember that in the midst of all that ails them, that they remember to open to gratitude. And by opening to gratitude, opening to the true divine self of who they are. Should you hold that intention for anyone else in your life, I invite you to say their names out loud now. In so doing, we are extending our gratitude for their presence in our life as well. Knowing that every situation, every challenge, every opportunity is for us to be the love of God. So go forth this week in gratitude, full, open-hearted gratitude, and unlock the fullness of your life. Namaste.
This moment, this place, I remember who I am, and all the fear and worry run away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love
After you
that
thank the board members,
love that
I
sets
want to give another thank you to Thea, and we can pay them. And then
Pop up? You're gonna pop up?
yeah, and then I'll also introduce the big sound as I'm up there.
Thank you, Reverend Ogun. So much to be grateful for. I'm very grateful for this community, being able to serve you in this way, as well as with PowerPoint. Grateful to have you all. Okay, so if you are feeling grateful, or if you're feeling like you need a prayer because you're having a challenge, we have our prayer chaplains here. If you could stand if you're able. These folks are here to sit with you right after service and just listen and just hold you in a prayerful way so that maybe they can lift your heart or whatever you need. You can get that from them. Thank you so much. We also have a service here, and I know Annie is here for home and hospital visits. Annie and anyone else here that works on the home and hospital? There we go. We've got That's awesome. These folks will actually visit your home or the hospital for folks that are not feeling well that need to have special prayers as well. So now let's get our tithes and offerings ready. Also, too, while you're getting that ready, you can submit prayer requests online, and we have a box in the back, as you know, when it comes up. We do have a dedicated phone line as well. That's all on the website. You can check that out. So, as we hold our tithe, let's affirm together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Couple more things, reminders. Those of you who took Uni Basics Part 1, just a reminder, we are meeting again at after service at 12 in the wing room to do Uni Basics Part 2. Also, Mickey announced earlier about needing turkeys for Thanksgiving. Can I just get 2 people right now to say I'm going to bring a turkey? Sharon, 1. Anybody else willing to cook a turkey for? In the back there, yay. All right, please see Peter. Please see Peter after service and let him know you will bring a fully cooked turkey. Thank you. Did you guys do the baskets already? Oh, no, come do that while I talk. Please. Also, we will be doing decorations. We'll be transforming all the rooms in our place here for the holidays. Slight shift. We'll be doing this on Sunday afternoon. Usually we do it on Saturday. But in an effort to try and get many more of you involved and give you the opportunity to be involved, we're going to be doing it after church on Sunday, November the 26th. Yes, Garland Landreth is doing a workshop at that time. If you're not attending his workshop, I will love to invite you to take part in this festive holiday decoration. We have different teams for different rooms. Come have some fun. Come have some fun with that. Also, in terms of ways you can give this season, we talked about giving Tuesdays. One of our congregants has been connected with the elementary schools in Salisbury, and one of the things that they are in dire need of is winter gear for some of their children. Many of their children are going into winter without good hats, without good coats, without good gloves, that sort of stuff. Katie, would you mind standing for a second? So I would really love for you guys to get involved. If you can find some coats, some jackets for kids, bring them in. We'll collect them, send them over. If you want more details about what to bring, see Katie. And I know she's also looking for some people to do some crocheting. Sorry, knitting. Apparently those are 2 different things. Right, so she's doing the knitting hats. If you happen to crochet, right, we need some prayer shawls. We do have a prayer shawl ministry where if any of you are, in hospital or something like that, we can bring a prayer shawl to you. We are in very low demands. Is Nan here? Oh, there you are, right in front. So Nan, stand for a second. So if you know how to crochet, see Nan. She would love for you to join her in that effort. Knitting, crocheting, knitting, 2 different things. Or if you want to learn how to do the other, just talk to them. It's a whole thing. And focus. Last week, there were some of you who were not here last week who saw my talk on Sunday from last Sunday and said, we would have signed that petition if we were here. If you do want to still sign that, I have it with me, so you can also do that after service. Let us bless the offering now. So I invite you to go to that place of gratitude in your heart for these gifts that we receive. We're grateful for the flow of abundance into our lives as Unity on the River. And in true spiritual practice, we always tithe on these tithes, and we give a portion back into the Amesbury community, into the wider Unity movement, and so on, continue the flow of abundance. We are grateful, and so it is. Amen.
And in the spirit of being in gratitude, It's time for our thank yous. General thank yous to everybody that makes the service happen. It takes a community, it takes a village, as they say. Thank you so much, everyone. Special thank yous for some folks that stood out this week. Jim, Malik, Carol, all the gala volunteers who helped out. Trice, Tina, Christine, Monica, and Renee. Every week we like to highlight 3 different teams. This week we'd like to thank the folding team, the altar team, and the live stream team. Thank you so much. So much gratitude. And then I'd like to lastly ask board members that are here to stand, please, then thank you for your service.
And one other quick thank you to a special individual who's kind of served as heading up our welcome team for the past 2 years, and who's deciding to step down and just move on to another aspect of being here at church. Taya, thank you so much for your service. Stand, please. Come on. I love it when people step up and say, yes, I want to serve. I want to give of my time, of my energy, of my love to this community. And I also love it when they are clear that, you know what, it's time for me to let this go and move on to something else. So, you know, nature abhors a vacuum. So now that Taya has stepped away, we are now open for someone to step into the role of welcome team leader if you have any interest. And that involves things like greeters, ushers, of whom we also need. You know, side note, a few weeks ago when we did our conscious conversations where we sat in small groups and people shared what they want to see and envision for us in the next year, one of the things that came up, a couple people said, speak more about when you need volunteers for things, okay? So we will do that, but I'll also make a blanket statement that say we need volunteers for everything. We truly do. We need especially ushers. So like today we weren't sure who was going to usher. We need greeters. We need volunteers for everything. You see this choir and think, oh, look, we got choir members. They don't need any more. Of course we do. You know, you look at all the different areas and we see people serving in them and you think, oh, people are serving. They don't need any more. The more, the merrier. I usually say less is more. Sometimes more is more. This is one of these areas where more is more. And more hands make light work. So please, this is, again, opportunity. Great opportunity for you to start doing this is, over the last few months, we've been going backward and forward about hospitality. Michael, stand for a second, has done a great job of serving as our hospitality coordinator. He's also stepping down to move on to what's next to do. So we have an opening for that. But one of our struggles has always been, what are we doing in hospitality? Sometimes people are like, where's the food? There's never enough food, yada, yada, yada. And we've been struggling. And this past Saturday, the board decided, you know what? We're going to stop struggling. We're going to stop struggling, and we're going to return to you, the community, and say, in true love and gratitude, the food we eat will be the food you bring. The food we eat will be the food that you bring. So, as Michael steps down from being hospitality coordinator, the new coordinator's role will simply be to make sure there's coffee and to organize the food that comes in on that Sunday. And what we will do starting in 2018, every first Sunday, because this was also one of the requests that came in, more ways to connect and know each other. So every first Sunday, starting in 2018, will be Community Potluck Day. So if there's no other day that you bring food during any Sunday during the month, bring it on the first Sunday, okay? But every Sunday, you know, just rewrap your leftovers from Saturday real nice. We're not gonna know. We're not gonna know. You know, pick up some donuts or a veggie tray on the way to church, you know, and if you don't want to make it look like you bought it from the store, you know, bring the Tupperware and throw it in Tupperware in the car. We're not gonna know, okay? So from now on, we're not going to be providing the food, we, the board, or we, the hospitality volunteers. We are all going to be providing the food for service afterwards. More details to come, but the food you eat will be the food you bring. Let that be our mantra moving forward. Okay? Excellent. It's time time for Brian. One more time.
It's time, Brian.
I just want to make sure my guitar is started. Shout out to Shipley's in the audience.
Shipley.
It's a power duo. Jackie Woodside right next to her. Power duo right there. And then, of course, Juliet's on the end, so power trio. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a master of putting my foot in my mouth. All right. It's time for the dead and gone. It's time for the broken ones to live again. It's time for the dead to rise. Time for the wings to fly, to live again. I can hear the calling. I can hear the sound of rain. Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling. It's time. Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling in this time. It's time for the dead to sing. It's time for the walls to ring with songs of freedom. It's time for the numb to feel. Time for the wounds to heal with songs of freedom. I can hear the calling. I can hear the sound of rain. Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling, and it's time. Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling, and it's time. It's time for the tide to turn. It's time for our hearts to burn with a desperation. It's time for a sacrifice. It's time that we paid the price for our generation. I can hear the calling. I can hear the sound of rain. Where's Hannah? Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling. It's time. Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling. It's time. Take it, Keith. It's time for the dead to rise. Yes, it's time for the wings to fly. I hear the calling, and it's time for the numb to feel. Yes, it's time for the wounds to heal. I hear the calling, and it's time. Oh, it's time that we paid the price. Yes, it's time for a sacrifice. I hear the calling, and it's time. Here we go! Over the mountains, over the valleys, I And over the valleys, I hear the calling, and it's time. One more. Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling, and it's time. Over the mountains, over the valleys, I hear the calling, and it's time. Over the mountains, over the valley, I hear the calling. It's time.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, band. Thank you, choir. Guess what time it is? Let's bring in the children.
We are walking at the light of God. 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 We are walking. We are walking. We are walking at the light of God. We are walking. We are walking. We are walking at the light of God.
Namaste. Stand in the presence. So today we just did a couple of Thanksgiving crafts and talked a little bit about gratitude and about how the attitude of gratitude affects what you see in the first place.
So, I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you. Let us stand, take the hand of our neighbor. Am I on, Tim? I don't sound on. I should be. Take the hand of our neighbor and affirm the peace, the truth for them. Peace does begin with us. Let there be peace on earth. Anyone? One quick thing I forgot to share. Keep the hands up, you'll be all right. If you can spare some time Tuesday night or to come early on Wednesday to help us transform the sanctuary with tables so that we can have our Thanksgiving potluck here in the sanctuary, because we usually have a lot of people, please let us know if you can do that. There's some sign-ups, and keep your eyes out for an email reminder that we will send out. That was it. All right, here we go. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are,
God is, and all is well, and we are richly blessed.
Go live in gratitude.
We are shiply blessed.